akɛseɛ ɛwɔ Afram Plains wɔ ɛne Kwahu East a nanka wɔn de bua akuafoɔ a dams akɛseɛ ka ho yɛbɛsrɛ ɔmanpanyin sɛ wɔn ntumi anwie na wɔn kɔɔɛ na daroma wɔn to asoma na ade hyɛ ɛwɔ Kwahu na ɛyɛ ade a ɛbɛtumi aboa papaapa ɛbɛyɛ nansanie metu anamɔ me kɔɔɛ nam sɛ me nso me donate nsase no bi de maaɛ na me kɔ ano ha yi a ɛyɛ Kwahu East ha ɛdeɛ no yɛmehu yɛ ne sɛ nnua no a aban abɔ kameɛ tutu no ɛne land no a yɛaprepare ne nyinaa no astarte ɛfu ɛnam sɛ yɛnwie yɛ ɛne dams so a wɔn starte yɛ so yɛntumi nwie yɛ ɛbɛyɛ nansɛ na yɛtumi wie a ɛbɛma lot of employment aba ama yɛ nkurɔfoɔ a yɛwɔ Kwahu anafoɔ ha na dodoɔ ne dua vegetables yɛmehu yɛ ne sɛ nnua no a aban abɔ kameɛ tutu no ɛne land no a yɛaprepare ne nyinaa no astarte ɛfu ɛyɛ nwanwa sɛ yɛn manfoɔ ɛtɔ gyene efi yɛmanfoɔ ɛtɔ gyene efi Burkinafoɔ nso pɛ gyene ne paa nti excellence yɛbɛsrɛ wo sɛ wadaroma pɛ na ɛhwɛ ma yɛ na yɛntumi nwie project mema mekasa akɔ awieɛ no excellence meankasa so no bia mefa mu ɛne bi ɛtwɛ bɛyɛ mfie nkron nie utu anamo bi ema Kwahu man na wo hya aseɛ ɛsɛ obesi hospital bi ɛde amayen ɛwɔ abetifi wadawma wo yɛ du baabi bata nam sɛ fofi antoata ɛna wadware abam no besi saa bere baabi a wo yɛ yɛ a odigya hɔ no saa pɛpɛɛpɛ ne da so wɔ hɔ wadaroma ɛno ne the only hospital
Afenyo Markins Afenyo Markins Markin
this thing. I don't know why people keep calling me Markins. But anyway, Omahin or Abetifi, Oman Mumpayinfo, our Kwahu. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra, Honorable Ministers of States, MP from Praeso, MP or Abetifi, other colleague MPs here present, captains of industry and industry players, distinguished members of the business community, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Permit me to start with a little bit of an experience in industry. As a young man, I started a transport business. My trading partners were Kwahus. They supplied me spare parts and ties on credit. I went through difficult times with the banks, getting loans at high interest, and my workers letting me down. I recall a situation where at Guinness, Ghana, where I was transporting their drinks, at the end of a month, they would deduct all the losses I've made, and then my check was just too small to even pay my loan. And my tie suppliers and spare parts dealers will be on me. I have to pay them. But what happened? Drivers will go and park and play football. They will park and steal some of the drinks and sell. At Awaso, where I was running the bauxite business, drivers will park, they don't care. At a point I had to bring an expert from Canada to assist me. Though we had a transport manager, but the Obroni's face did a change for us, and I had to pay dollars. I remember my days at the weekend court because I had to pay SNET and I was defaulting, and the workers did not really care, and they would even go and report to you that you've not paid their SNET, and they will use their union to do aluta. The businessman is really suffering. And I also recall when there was a change of government in 2008 and the new government came into office, I was running from Bupe, Aflao to Bupe. We pick gypsum from Tablibo in Togo, go to Aflao, drop some for diamond cement and continue to Bupe. And then at each load, they would deliberately stop my trucks and other trucks would be passing because they said that boy is an MPP boy. My partner had to rush to Vice President John Dramani Mahama, as he then was, and he had to intervene to call those boys to order. Because I told my partner to tell him that the diamond cement factory in Bupe, if they don't get the limestone, they won't produce the cement and it will affect his area. Did we go or did we come? Indeed, I needed to give you this background so that those of you in private business will relate, so that we know where we are starting from and what is expected of us as a political class. Let me say it's an honor to join you for this second edition of the Kwahu Business Forum, an important platform that continues to inspire fresh thinking about Ghana's economic future, while reminding us that the future of our nation is deeply intertwined with the active participation of the private sector, particularly the strength of its indigenous businesses and the vision of its entrepreneurs. The theme for this year, the future of business, the role of the financial sector, is not only timely but foundational. No economy can thrive where access to finance remains elusive. Ghana's economic future will depend heavily on the strength, agility, and the resilience of its business community, and on the strategic role of the financial sector that it plays in supporting particularly our indigenous enterprises to scale up and succeed. When we empower local businesses with the capital and confidence they need to grow, we do more than boost productivity. We open up the pathways for job creation. And in a country where youth unemployment remains one of our most urgent national challenges, building a strong and inclusive financial ecosystem is not just an economic imperative, it is also a social one as well. Now, championing entrepreneurship. As I've already indicated, as someone who over 2 decades not only found himself in public service but also in the private enterprise, I understand the hurdles that define the entrepreneurial journey. I have walked the often unpredictable road of private enterprise, and so I know firsthand the thrill of opportunity and the weight of challenges that every Ghanaian entrepreneur must carry. I understand what it means to raise capital, to innovate through constraints, and to stay resilient in the face of shifting market dynamics and a fragile entrepreneurial ecosystem. These personal experiences have deepened my conviction that entrepreneurship is not just a livelihood, it is nation building. It is also what continues to shape my passion for championing policies that support and empower Ghanaian entrepreneurs and the private sector, because I don't just sympathize with their journey out of theory, I identify with it from lived experience. I understand their struggles, their sacrifices, and their ambitions. It is precisely because of this that I believe, as a political class, we have a responsibility to depoliticize entrepreneurship, to create an ecosystem where business owners can thrive without fear of being tagged or targeted. We must celebrate enterprise and actively cultivate an environment where hard work and creativity is rewarded. Entrepreneurship must not be viewed through a political lens. The success of a business should never depend on which political regime is in power, nor should it be stifled by partisan labels. Our role as political leaders is not to frustrate private sector actors, but to foster a fair and enabling environment where merit, innovation, and hard work thrive. And as we nurture this culture of enterprise, we must also take a hard look at how we extend opportunity, particularly to the youth. They must be supported only when they must not be supported only when they wear our party colors. They must be supported when they demonstrate potential, creativity, and drive.
With research papers or facing writer's block
cannot be built on partisan loyalty. It must be built on merit of enterprise. Those who deserve opportunity should be given opportunity, regardless of political affiliation. Particularly to the youth. That is how we build a nation. They must be supported. That is how we create competition. They must not be supported. And that is how we create progress in a nation. I believe that the time has come for Ghana to consider establishing a national orientation program built around these values, one that instills a renewed sense of civic responsibility, discipline, hard work, and enterprise in our national psyche. We must deliberately shape a new Ghanaian mindset, one that values hard work over shortcuts, merit over connections, and contribution over entitlement. The public sector is already choked, and the jobs of the future will be created in the private sector. This is a mindset people need to have. Such a program, especially if targeted at the youth, could play a transformative role in reshaping national attitude and helping us build a country where excellence is expected, rewarded, and sustained. The role of the financial sector in the growth of indigenous business cannot be overstated. For our economy to thrive, we must ensure that financial institutions play a more proactive role in supporting local enterprises, not only in providing capital, but also in creating the opportunities that will allow these businesses to grow and ultimately contribute to job creation on a national scale. It is imperative that the financial sector adjusts its approach, becoming more attuned to the needs of small and medium-scale enterprises, particularly those led by young Ghanaian entrepreneurs. We must bridge the gap between access to finance and entrepreneurial potential by developing financial products and solutions tailored to the specific challenges faced by our local businesses. Your Excellency, by doing so, we shall cultivate industries that are sustainable, innovative, and grounded in the realities of our local context. This shift will help transform the business landscape, making local enterprises the backbone of our economy and key drivers of job creation. As financial institutions, you are expected to rise to this challenge. You would not just provide capital, but become true partners in the growth of a prosperous Ghana. I conclude by thanking Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, for putting together a platform like this, which continues to shape the future of business in Ghana. This initiative is crucial for not only promoting dialogue, but also translating those conversations into tangible actions that can propel us toward a brighter economic future. I would like to also acknowledge the contribution of all the industry players present, others to take full advantage of the opportunities, invest boldly in your dreams, for they are the foundation of our collective future. To us as political leaders, the time has come. Let's not only be committed in words, but let us be committed in real terms in supporting entrepreneurs and the private sector. Let us work together to build a business ecosystem where success is driven by merit, hard work, an opportunity and not by politics. Let me take the opportunity to thank you for this continued effort in creating a forum that will bring initiatives together. God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minority Leader. Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him. Next to mount the podium is the Majority Leader in Parliament, Honorable Mahama Ayariga.
Our chairman and Adontin Hene of the Kwahu traditional area and chief of Abetifi, who is ably flanked by his various traditional leaders who are here. Your Excellency, honorable ministers, colleague members of Parliament, esteemed business leaders, entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on established protocol and permit me to be very brief because I come before the Messiah himself. I commend Your Excellency and the Chief of Staff for establishing this forum as a platform both to acknowledge the entrepreneurial spirit of the Kwahu people and as a rallying point for entrepreneurship across the country. A 24-hour economy became the rallying cry of our just ended campaign, which gave us a resounding victory because it represented enterprise, business, and most importantly, jobs for our teeming youth. That is why it was a very popular rallying point for the campaign. The private sector is the engine of growth, and the business leaders are the drivers and operators of the engine. They are the job creators and they are the innovators that we must nurture, grow, and sustain. And this platform demonstrates Your Excellency's commitment to this very task. Your Parliament, the Parliament of Ghana, the People's Parliament, stands ready to do whatever it takes to support your agenda to ensure growth and create jobs that are equitable. Our various committees will support their sector ministers and the enterprises that work up to those sectors to identify their challenges, fashion out appropriate recommendations to help them solve those challenges. And we'll monitor your ministers to ensure that they are delivering according to the promises you made to Ghanaians. Your Parliament will also monitor and ensure the implementation of the promises to incubate and develop enterprises across the country. And the NDC manifesto is full of programs that aim to achieve that. And this budget that got passed has significant allocations aimed at implementing those promises. And our job in Parliament will be to monitor and ensure that this happens. So far, Your Excellency, you have taken bold steps to support local enterprises. People may not be paying attention, but let me give one or two examples. This Parliament that just went on short recess, His Excellency the President directed that 80% of the common fund must be sent directly to the local assemblies. None of it should remain in Accra. This money, when it gets to the local assemblies, will be used to pay for the services of local entrepreneurs and businesses who will be providing services to the local assemblies. And by my estimation, in 4 years' time, not less than 5 or 6 billion Ghana cedis would have hit the accounts of the local assemblies, which would have been used to service contracts by local enterprises, and that will nurture the growth of local entrepreneurship across the country in our districts and our assemblies. Your Excellency also directed that when it comes to feeding the children in the schools, we should not procure the food items and the ingredients and the things that they need in Accra. We must transfer the money directly to the schools in the districts, and the headmasters must procure whatever they need in the community where the school is located. Again, just imagine the number of secondary schools across the country, the number of school children who must be fed in those secondary schools, and the amount of procurement that will take place in those communities, and the payments to the service providers, and how that will lubricate the economy of those communities and give local businesses a real opportunity to also thrive and grow. So, Mr. Excellency, so far, so good. We are very proud of your initiatives, and this forum is testament to your commitment to foster dialogue among entrepreneurs, to create the platform for collaboration between entrepreneurs, the bankers, and governmental agencies, so that together we can fashion out a strategy for moving forward and indeed making Ghana a great and better place to live in. I thank you very much, and I wish you every success in this gathering.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader in Ghana's Parliament, Honorable Mahama Ayariga. With a standing ovation and a resounding applause, let's welcome His Excellency. Let's welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Kindly resume your seat. Thank you very much. Let me welcome all of you and thank you for this opportunity. Before I read my official speech, I'll just make a few preliminary remarks. Last year, as part of the campaign for the 2024 elections, we came to attend the Kwahu Easter celebrations. And while we were planning the trip, my friend and co-conspirator, the Honorable Julius Deborah, formulated an idea that as part of attending the celebrations, we should organize a forum so that I could use it as a platform to explain what my economic policies were going to be and how they were going to assist business people to be able to transform their businesses and grow their businesses. And so we contacted a few business people, and they thought it was a brilliant idea. And so that is how the idea of the Kwahu Business Forum was born. But at that forum, I made a pledge that if God's favor shined on me and I became president, I will come back the next year and we'll organize the forum again, bigger and better. And that when I was coming, I was going to bring my relevant ministers, heads of institutions, banks, and everybody relevant for the growth of business. And so today, in fulfillment of that promise, I'm here with my key ministers, several heads of financial institutions and relevant agencies that can assist the private sector not only to transform but to grow. Business Forum, it is just a testament of the acumen of Kwahu Business, a testament of the acumen of Kwahu Business people, but it is not only for Kwahu businessmen. It's open to all Ghanaian businessmen, foreigners, Ghanaians, anybody who wants to come and attend and network is invited to attend this forum. The world is changing and new opportunities are being thrown up. And we as a country must take advantage of those opportunities. From the era of the Cold War, we had the era of globalization. In all these stages, Africa continued to lose out. But I think that the opportunity is beginning to come for Africa because world geopolitics is changing. We all can take note of the trade wars that are taking place between the economically mighty countries. It is creating global shifts in terms of production. And this is the opportunity that Africa must take. And so let us shake ourselves out of the mindset that we are traders, because we can be manufacturers, we can be industrialists, we can be digital entrepreneurs, we can be agribusinessmen, we can be large-scale commercial farmers, we can be anything that we want. And so with the shift in the global geopolitics, opportunities, new opportunities are being created. And as long as the Trumpian things continue happening, it makes the world a bit more unpredictable. And the more unpredictable the world is, the more opportunity it creates for those who have been marginalized for a long time. I want to thank Nana Chairman for the comments he made about the Afram Plains. And I want to assure him that Afram Plains is in our sight in terms of its agricultural potential and agro-processing. We've labeled Afram Plains a special agro-processing zone, SAPZ. And in line with the same program that the African Development Bank is pursuing, we intend to achieve substantial funding from the African Development Bank for investment in the Afram Plains, both in terms of agriculture and agro-processing. But to be able to do that, we must first put in the infrastructure. And so under the big push, we have put the bridge at Echiamam from under the big push to construct the bridge so that we can take the ferry away. And then also we've targeted the main roads in the Afram Plains area to rehabilitate them so that it can ease doing business in the area. Let me thank both the majority and minority leader for attending. For me, it sends a signal that this is a non-partisan business forum, and that it is open to everybody, notwithstanding one's political affiliation. And my hope is that future presidents who succeed me will continue to adopt this as a forum that must continue, no matter which party is in power. But I'd like to make my last comment on the issue the minority leader raised. And it's not only him. There are several businessmen who have told me that one of the major hindrances they face in business is not even capital. It is getting trusted people to work with. If somebody comes to work for you, he thinks that your business is a platform for him also to build his business. And it's not only him who has had that experience. I've had it too. I bought a bus for a relative. to run transport business so that he can look after the family at home and stop disturbing me on my small parliamentary salary. And they gave it to a driver who was a relative. Good driver though. The first thing he did was he went and put a carrier on the bus. And anytime you saw the bus had more load on top of it than in the bus. And so what happened? The axle broke down. And it was the most regrettable experience in my life. When the axle broke down, they came to me to buy a new axle. So the reason for buying the bus had been defeated. Anytime the bus broke down, they'll come to me to come and repair it. And it was costing me more to repair the bus than if I had just been momoing the money to them. But you know what happened? This driver used to live in the family house. While he was driving the bus, he procured the land. He started to build a house. The house reached lintel level when the bus finally broke down. And by then I had had enough. So I refused to repair the bus and decided to dispose of it. And so I sold the bus. This was like several years, many years, more than 10 years ago. And since I sold the bus, where the building reached lintel level, it is still at lintel level even till today. And so what he says is very serious. And I know that even some business people and industrialists are going out of, like he said, are going out of the country and bringing foreigners to come and manage their businesses. It's an indictment on our human resource. And it's something that we must begin to think about and find ways of creating a core of management that is dedicated to working to build the business. Because what they forget is as the business grows, you get better remunerated, you benefit more. But if you want to suck your pound of flesh out of the business and kill it and move on, then no industry is going to grow and survive. And so that is an issue that we need to take up so that we all can think how we can manage to create a core of Ghanaian business managers who are dedicated, who have integrity, and who will work to grow the businesses so that they survive and create more opportunities for our young people. And so those were the preliminary comments, but I have a speech here, so let me inflict it on you. I'm sorry. You have to stay a few more minutes and listen to this speech. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure for me to be here in Mpraeso in the heart of Kwahu, home to industrious and resilient people, and a place that has become a vital center for Ghana's entrepreneurial and investment dialogue. I thank the organizers of the Kwahu Business Forum for sustaining this important platform, which has quickly become a feature in our national economic conversation. This year's theme, the future of business, the role of the financial sector, could not be more relevant. The financial sector is the bloodstream of any economy. Without it, businesses cannot grow and jobs cannot be created, and innovation cannot thrive. Let me begin with the state of our economy. We are all aware of the challenges our country has faced in recent years: soaring inflation, a weakened cedi, rising debt levels, and a decline in investor confidence. These challenges have weighed heavily on businesses and households alike, but I'm confident, and I say this with sincerity, that we will turn the corner. There are early signs of macroeconomic stabilization. Inflation is gradually easing, the currency is stabilizing, and with disciplined management, we shall restore a measure of confidence in our economy. But ladies and gentlemen, recovery alone is not enough. We must now set our sights higher. That works not just for a few, but for every Ghanaian business, from the roadside vendor to the massive industrialist. Our vision for Ghana's future business landscape is bold and deliberate. We are pursuing a targeted program in restoring investor confidence by enhancing transparency, cutting bureaucratic red tape, and promoting a rules-based investment climate. We're prioritizing sectors that can absorb labor and grow our economy sustainably, like agro-processing, ICT, manufacturing, tourism, renewable energy, and the green economy. But our focus is not only on attracting foreign investment. We're equally committed to empowering Ghanaians to become owners and drivers of enterprise. And this is why this government will support the private sector, not just with policy, but with decisive action. We will expand access to affordable financing through financial institutions like the commercial banks, the Ghana Development Bank, the Women's Development Bank, and partnership with other private financial institutions. We'll support small and medium enterprises with targeted financing, tax incentives, and technical support. We'll modernize infrastructure, including roads, logistics, and digital connectivity, to create an environment where businesses can thrive. We'll reduce the cost of borrowing by reforming credit systems and supporting blended finance instruments. And we'll retool the financial sector to serve the real economy, not just government borrowing or speculative trading. We also will launch a national venture capital fund to support youth and women-led businesses and introduce regulatory reforms that encourage banks and financial institutions to lend to the productive sectors of the economy. And in all this, financial inclusion will be at the heart of this agenda. No economy can grow if its people remain excluded from the formal financial systems. We'll work with banks, fintechs, and mobile money operators to expand access to financial services, particularly in rural and underserved communities. Nana Chairman, distinguished guests, the future of business in Ghana must be digital, it must be green, and it must be inclusive. We're entering an era where digital infrastructure is as important as roads and other infrastructure. As part of our 24-hour economy strategy, we'll create the conditions through reliable electricity supply, logistics, and public safety for businesses to operate around the clock. This will boost productivity, create jobs, and expand opportunities across the country. But in trying to transform our country, an important ingredient is the requirement of skills. And that's why we're introducing a Jobs and Skills Compact, bringing together government, industry, and academia to align education and training with the needs of the changing job market. We'll provide incentives to companies that create sustainable, decent jobs and support youth entrepreneurship to unlock the creativity of our young people. Our vision is of a Ghana where no young person needs to leave their hometown in search of opportunities, where our communities will become hubs of innovation, enterprise, and decent work. To truly enable business growth, we must go beyond economic policy. It requires a firm commitment to rule of law, political stability, and respect for contracts and property rights. It also requires a responsive, corruption-free public service that sees the private sector not just as a source of revenue, but as a partner in development. And that is why forums like these are important. They allow us to listen, to engage, and to co-create policies that work for us. Your insights and innovations are critical to the national reset that we have embarked upon. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Chairman, in conclusion, the future of Ghana will not be determined by government alone. It will be determined by our ability to build partnerships between the state and private sectors, between finance and innovation, and between leadership and the people. The Kwahu Business Forum is more than just an event. It is a call to action. And so let us work together to build a Ghana that is competitive, productive, and inclusive, and a Ghana that creates opportunities for all. And so on this note, it's my honor and privilege to declare the 2025 Kwahu Business Forum duly open. Thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama. Kwahu Business Forum is more than just an event. Thank you once again, His Excellency. Let's give that for His Excellency. Let's do it one more time. One more time. So at this moment, we will be having presentations and speeches from our MDs from the banks. We'll be having the first batch of presentation and speeches by the MDs, after which we'll be having the networking and photo ops. Then it will proceed in that manner. So first, to give us a presentation, will be the MD for GCB Bank PLC, Farhan Al-Hassan.
Good morning. So I don't know what my crime is to be called to speak after the president. Anytime you listen to him, you begin to wonder whether he's a banker, an economist, or an agriculturalist. I think his speech has laid a very good foundation for what we want to discuss today. Unfortunately, I don't have a speech to inflict on you. I would want to just speak from the heart, because engaging the Chief of Staff, it has become clear that this is not a forum for words, it's a forum for action. On that note, Nana, Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, the President, the Chief of Staff and his deputies, ministers, members of Parliament, esteemed guests, fellow managing directors, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great honor to address this business forum, a forum of like-minded individuals and institutions aligned towards one shared purpose, a purpose to rebuild, reimagine, and reignite the economic destiny of our dear country. But first of all, let me salute the President for this bold initiative. Our presence here gives ample testimony, thank you, to the timeless truth that leadership indeed matters. True leadership with vision has an impact. And this is what we are seeing today. You inspire us a lot, Mr. President. I'd like to also thank you for your very impressive submission on Ghana's economic revitalization. Listening to you, it is very clear that at the heart of what you want to leave behind as your legacy is the industrialization of our. And so today, if you walk into our bank, you will see us fully aligned towards agribusiness, towards manufacturing, and of course, towards trade. In agribusiness, over the years, many banks have shied away from supporting primary agriculture. And the question I always ask my colleagues is, if you don't support primary agriculture, how do you then get the produce to even support agri-processing and the value chain? And so we are committed to supporting even at the onset of the agricultural process. So never again would you come to GCB and we'll tell you that we cannot support your business if it is primary agriculture. We are keen to support businesses along the full value chain from agribusiness to exportation. Again, one of the things we think our customers face is access to long-term finance. So project financing has become a very scarce rare thing in our industry. most businessmen are looking for long-term funds to put up factories. And Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, it will not be possible for us to really achieve.
Hello guys, you are watching official Kingsbridge TV. Ope lifestyle, Ope talks on history, Ope talks on heritage, culture. The right place to watch official Kingsbridge TV. To YouTube and subscribe to our channel. She said, let's talk segment. You will know everything pertaining our rear and planetary and everything you want to know about marriage and relationship. Kingsbridge TV. Moments delivered.
Get us to where we want to get to. And so we've been engaging DBG and other DFIs to see how we can access long-term financing to support businesses, build factories, build local capacity to export whatever they are bringing into those factories. It is something that we are keen on as a business. Beyond that is also the GCB way of linking businesses to be able to export onto the other markets. And I think Mr. President rightly said it, that the challenges that we are facing between America and China presents a very good opportunity for us here as entrepreneurs to see how we can take advantage to export a lot of our raw materials onto the international market. The major challenge that businesses have in this is the fact that the standards that we produce in Ghana are below the standards that are being accepted at the international market. And so we are working again with Ghana Export Promotion and perhaps very soon with Free Zones Authority to be able to get protocols in these international markets that would allow you to be able to export into those markets. There's a lot more that we'll be doing, but I'm sure I will leave the podium for my colleague MDs to also come and share with you what we are doing collectively to support and reset the country as Mr. President desires. In conclusion, I'd just like to reaffirm the commitment of GCB to your cause. This bank has been with you for 70 years. We are not going anywhere. We'll be with you through crisis. We'll be with you through difficult moments. And I think the purpose of a bank is not to only support businesses or the economy when things are right in the economy.
Al Hassan, MD, GCB Bank, PLC. For the benefit of time, we would want to plead with the MDs that if you can do the presentation within 5 minutes space, we'll be very happy with that. Next to do his presentation is the MD, Agricultural Development Bank, Edward Ato Sapon. Let's give it up for him whilst he walks onto the podium.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The chairman of the committee and the function and the president, because of time, I want to stand on all existing protocol and continue. When we talk about ADB, ADB is the blood of everybody, because without our Greek and others, we cannot survive. So basically, those who will not have idea about ADB, I just want 30 seconds to give you an idea about ADB. ADB is actually a listed company in the Ghana Stock Exchange with a lot of shareholders there. And we are a universal bank, and we perform functions in agric and more. And we have a vision. The core of our vision is to become people's bank, harness and let them create words. Then when we look at our mission, we want to be the custom-setted people. So basically, that is our mind. And we also have value. The most important thing that you look at, and when the minority there was talking, he mentioned trust. And trust is one of the core value of ADB PLC. You talk about innovation, because if you are not innovated, you cannot do business. Every entrepreneur is an innovator, and we are there, and we always proactive. So if you look at our value at ADB, we have all those things to take you from one level to the other in terms of business and wealth creation. Now, if you also look at our structure, we covered the whole country, all the 16 regions. ADB has a network. We have branches there. So it means that wherever you are located in the country, you will be sure that you have our expertise, you have our professionals to deal with you. Now, we also realize that when we come to services, we run a whole lot of services that will meet your need. So we are not only interested in those who are working in the farm or those who are only in the manufacturing, but from the household to whatever level you think. So we have services in agri-financings, we have corporate banking. So if you're in the corporate world, you see us. We have personal and commercial banking, we are there. You can talk about the institutional and the public sector banking, SMEs, trade services, executive banking, electronics, consumer finance, and treasury management. So we cover all sectors. So in this room, nobody will be here and said ADB will not be beneficial to him, because from A to Z, we are there. If it's private, we are there. If it's corporate, we are there. If it's government, it was there. If it's trade, we are there. So we can tell you that ADB is the eye of the country, because we cover where people will not be ready to cover. Then we continue. Now, some of the, in the e-service sector, because I said we can have your pre-visa, internet banking to check your account transfer. So as you are here now, you could be still doing business, and that is innovation. Because remember, I told you one of our key value is about innovation. So even if you travel on your plane, you can still do business. Your business will not be sleeping. If we talk about bulk payment, some of the business here, you have workers. You can sit here and pay your workers just by click of a button. We are there. We are highly innovative. You can use your Visa card, which is this. And then those who run business, you can do a unified collection portal for you and point of sale. So GCB ran a lot of services that each and everybody will benefit from. We don't segregate the market. Then, if we come to the agri, you realize that when it comes to agriculture, agriculture is from production. There's a chain. We call agriculture chain, the production chain. We start from the planting of the seed to the consumption level. So we are along all the chain. Some of the products we have run in agriculture, you will see crop production and processing facilities. People benefit from it. It is there. We also have products like poultry and then aquaculture. We have practiced those things. It is there. You will talk about the marketing. You see, because I was telling it's a value chain, so we are everywhere. If you talk about the marketing, we are there. The loans to support you, the lease, and I can mention 1,001. This is in agri, from production to consumption. So we are along the whole value chain. So if you are here and you are in agriculture, you have a space with agri. Any level where you are, we are there to service you. Then you may, so there are a series of them. Because of time, I will not be able to go. So there is a lot. You get the detail of it. Then if you come to even our e-banking, we are there. But the issue that we want to say is that when we have a lot of function in trade. So we build of collection, let us calculate. But the question is that if you are into trade, where do you want to trade with agri-bank? You realize that in agri-banks, we can have the same day swift service advice. So if it comes to time, agri is number one. That one you can read. So businessmen here, I know time is very relevant to you. Do business with her, because the same day you get your service. You can also have, how do you call it? Value added, like part of, this one. You can have the value. So time is of very essential. Then you may also want to know where we are going. Why are we here? One of the critical things that we have is that we want to be the key promoters of business and wealth creation for economic development.
Hello guys, you are watching official Kingsbit TV. Ope Lifestyle. Ope talks on history. Opet talks on, heritage, culture. The right place to watch official Kingsbridge TV to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. She said, let's talk segment. You will know everything pertaining our rear and planetary and everything you want to know about marriage and relationship. Kingsbridge TV, moments delivered.
From 1/3